Welcome to Coach Marino's Game Day show here at Jaxx Sportsbar in Palmetto. I'm Brian Varnador, and I'm joined tonight by Ken Burton Jr. and Tiger head coach Dave Marino. Ken, I think you've got some guests down there.
Yes, Coach, introduce who we're going to be talking to at halftime.
Well, we have our quarterback, superstar quarterback, Xavier Williams, and our freshman phenom, defensive tackle, defensive end, Jordan Renault.
All right, Coach Marino, let's get right to the action. We'll talk through some of the highlights from that rain-drenched October 18th Class 6A District 12 game with those Southeast Seminoles.
That's a great shot.
Was another one of those rain-drenched evenings that we've been suffering through so far this season. But like I said, it was a great atmosphere. Great Palmetto support from the community to come out, even in the rain. We don't have fair weather fans, that's for sure. They were definitely out in full force and making noise and giving us that extra energy, we need. Southeast won the toss. They deferred, and they tried to, they took a chance going with the onside kick, and we should have made them pay, and we did not. Offensively, we didn't start off the way we like to, but we get the ball back thanks to our great defense, and there's Sajel Hickson, again, breaking tackles, running tough, and getting some positive yardage. Xavier was under pressure right there, and fortunately we didn't get what we wanted out of that third down conversion, so we had to punt. And again, Rafael Gonzalez has been doing an outstanding job, and great job by Braden Nickel. Not only does he long snap, but again, the way he covers, the way he gets down the field. Again, you see the push by Jordan Renault and Floyd Dozier up the middle, putting pressure on the quarterback. And you saw that all night long. He was throwing off his back foot and giving our defensive backs a chance. Great fill there by Michael Brown at the linebacker spot. Can't say enough again. Look at the pressure there by Floyd Dozier. Quentin Rue coming off the edge. Kevion Williams forcing them to get up inside and just nowhere to run for a loss there. Putting them behind the chains, and our defense pretty much did that all night long. Again, great fill right there, and great fill by Matty White and Michael Brown, but Miles Ormsby just living in the backfield. Again, just another integral cog of the defensive line. Again, putting pressure on the quarterback and just giving our defensive backs a chance to lock guys down. Great read there by Xavier Williams deciding to tuck it. And again, he's just doing an outstanding job knowing when to pull it, when to pitch it, when to pull and pass. Great decision right there to pitch it to Sajel Hickson. And the perimeter guys, you can't say enough about Curtis Thomas, LeJante Wester. Look at the blocking. That's just outstanding physicality by wide receivers. And a lot of times you don't get wide receivers to do that for their teammates, but these guys are so unselfish. Slippery night, sloppy night, a little bit of a bobbled exchange there, but, we were able to get the necessary yardage. And then here it is right there. Again, got hit, ball was slick, but fortunately we fell on it, and then Xavier finished the drive. Great push up front by, Ryan Cotton and Giuliano Chatilla and Quentin Zanders now filling in for the injured Lee Matthews and Jay West and Kaiwan Smith. So you could see the range is driving down hard. But like I said, the way our kids have just battled through adversity all year long, great push again by Floyd Dozier. And then there's, Kevion Williams to finish it up for a sack. And like I said, the defense was on them all night long. Again, forcing them to throw fast because of the pressure causes Damon Hill to take advantage of that opportunity on the back end and turns into a pick six. So, again, it really starts up front, and it's been it's been the recipe all year, putting pressure on other opposing quarterbacks and stopping their run game. And so, you see a good fill there, missed tackle. The quarterback from Southeast, Malik Huggins, is a very good athlete. And so, we're not going to totally shut him down. He's going to get his plays. But for the most part, we did a great job of corralling him.
Yeah, Coach, was averaging 303 yards of offense per game, and then Palmetto Tiger D really held him out of the red zone all night.
And another great fill there by our secondary. You got Braden Nickel and Ellison Bradley coming up, and Jock Hughes, and just so many guys in the back end that can come up and make plays. And again, you get pressure, and he sort of panics, and we get another loss.
Yeah, at the end of the first quarter there, the Palmetto Tigers lead 14-0. Things looking good for that Palmetto Tiger defense. We may talk about this later, but really they did not get inside the 20-yard line. Southeast as the game progressive one time. Ken and I talked about that after the broadcast. Very impressive display again by your Palmetto Tiger defense. Coach, 8 games into the season, 63 points allowed. Kent will tell you the math on that is what, Ken?
7.75.
Yes.
And
Ken's
28 points of it was in one game.
So amazingly, that defense doing the job. Now let's take it to the second quarter highlights, Coach.
Again, great pressure there. Kevion Williams forcing them out of the pocket. And that was something we talked about. And it didn't work out, but we talked about staying disciplined and staying in our rush lane. So Kevion sort of jumped inside and allowed him to get outside the pocket, but to no avail because our defensive backs were solid all night long. And, great run there for us to get us started on this drive. Robert Gavin and Sajel Hickson have done an outstanding job with that 1-2 punch, and then you sprinkle in Dravian Butler for a little bit of shiftiness, and it's a difficult group to stop. Again, you see, Sajel stick his foot in the ground and
Great
get north
cut.
and south and run behind his pads. Again, can't say enough about his toughness.
Xavier's trying to park him offside, and draw that offsides penalty.
Yeah, and he's making a good call right here, getting it to Bub, and it's a great play. And unfortunately, the slick ball, it comes loose. But again, Xavier making a great decision, great read, good throw, and unfortunately we just couldn't hang on, and that's part of it. But then again, they had to play in the same conditions, and so
It's close enough. It's playing.
yeah. So again, it was a slick night, and worked against us, but it also worked against them as well. Both teams offensively had to deal with the wet ball, and there's another example of it. Good thrown ball popped up, and Jaquez was in the right spot at the right time. So right there was an unfortunate situation. We had an opportunity, but we didn't take advantage of that opportunity with the turnover. It was an emotional game, and one of our players just got a little bit too mouthy, and that's where we got the 15-yard penalty that took us out of field goal range. So we had to punt, and, obviously Rafael Gonzalez does a great job. He puts it in the end zone, forcing Southeast to start on their own 20. And then again, here comes that stifling defense. They're just relentless. 8, 9, 10, 11 hats to the ball every play. And, again, they had a hard time blocking our speed and athleticism and our tenacity. So, Southeast is playing behind the chains now, and there ain't much you can do when you got a defensive line like that that's going to continue to put pressure.
Ooh, mercy.
Credit to the kid, the punter, for getting it off in the first place. But obviously it was not a good punt. I think it was a
And
negative.
he downed it too, Coach.
It was a negative 5-yard punt.
I've never
but,
seen that.
He returned.
Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been a touchdown, which ended up being a short field, and great call by Ty Stolt, our quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. Plays that we work on, plays that we had used in the past, and we just dialed it up at the right time right there. Kevion Williams got outstanding hands. what an athlete for such a big, strong kid. And Raphael putting them deep in the end zone, making them start on their own 20. We had a twist inside, trying to get more pressure. Their O-line did a decent job picking it up, and quarterback makes a good throw, pitch and catch, and they're moving it a little bit. But then here comes the defense, and they just rally around each other. And so whatever success they have, another team has, they battle back from it.
Oh, great!
And again,
blocking.
look at the blocking.
Oh,
look at the
goodness.
blocking.
Wow.
Whether it's Kobe Mays or Curtis Thomas or LeJontay
Incredible.
Wester, Dravian Butler. I mean, that was a pancake block by a wide receiver, and that's just amazing. And we're so fortunate and blessed to have such unselfish guys out there on the perimeter doing what they do and creating opportunities for their teammates. Again, pressure just all night long in his face, and Malik had a few nice runs and a few nice passes, but just couldn't do much. Not with a relentless pass rush like that. And again, hats off to Kevion Williams, Jordan Renault, Quentin Rue, and Miles Ormsby, and obviously our captain Floyd Dozier. Those 5 guys constantly rotating in and staying fresh. And now we're getting great production out of Andre Rentz. Kendall Reynolds has been there most of the year. He had a stretch there where he was injured, but now he's back. And it's just, when you can rotate 6, 7 defensive linemen, makes it more difficult for any offense to get something going.
So we're coming to the close of the second quarter here, Coach. And so that will just about do it. The clock goes down. Palmetto Tigers lead at that point, 28-0. Now, Ken Burton, you've got some guests here and some questions. The really big questions from Ken Burton.
Our first guest is the freshman phenom defensive lineman Jordan Renault. In the program, he goes 6'5", 275. Jordan, 38 tackles on the season after 8 games. Pretty impressive. The numbers have seemed to increase as the season rolls on, as evidenced by last week's 9 tackles versus Southeast. Is this coming naturally for you, or is it because you're getting a lot of work in, or is it a combination of both?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. With me being with our coaches being as good as they are, and then mixed with our natural talents, that's what it boils down to. But
good. We're going to look at a couple.
He's being a little modest now, Ken. He works hard. He is obviously blessed. God has given him a lot of natural ability, but he works like he's just trying to make the team. And if he continues with that work ethic, he's going to have an outstanding future.
I was going to say it's all coaching.
It's all. Let's take a look at a couple of plays here. And Coach, you're spot on with this. This first play, it was 3rd and 13, 9:15 left in the fourth quarter. We're going to pick him out, but you just blow right in the gap, right between the guard and tackle, and sack their quarterback. So talk us through this as we roll the video. Right here. It's in slow motion.
So my coach always teach me how to use hands when I get out the ball. So that's what make it seem like, or make it look like that I'm just blowing through them because I use hands. And the fact that they feel already defeated because I beat them up the whole first half, and they come in already knowing that they're finna get beat the second half. So that's what that was.
And your get off, his get off was outstanding. I mean, he was in the backfield before they even had a chance to get out of their stance. And again, that's part of his work ethic. And Coach Walls does a great job with those guys, watching the football, making sure they're disciplined, getting off on the football. So
on the second play here, it's a 2nd and 21, 6:02. Weather's not as bad. Watch his technique on this play. It's great. Handling the lineman, looking for the runner, and then making the play on this. So walk us through this, Jordan.
With this one, I feel like I was a little bit too high, but it was still a fast get off. So I feel like my speed made up for me being high. And then with the help from the linebackers as well as myself, we made the tackle. So
Great play. Coach talked about the rotation and the pass rush. Can you, as a player and as the season progresses, can you tell the difference in the offense? Are they really wearing down and you guys are fresh? And how does that make a difference in the game?
I feel like that comes with the work that we do throughout the week. The work that we do throughout the week with the fact that we run so much and we condition so much. So that makes other teams tired. I mean, I don't know, but it makes other teams tired. So, and then the way our rotation set up, that plays a part too. But
and again, he's being modest, but they all do. But the D line really gets after it in terms of their conditioning and their mental conditioning. A lot of teams, with the no huddle and tempo, try to get you to jump off sides, and we have improved so much this year. Maintaining that discipline to stay on side, but yet when the ball is snapped, to get off as quick as we do and beat a lot of teams off the football. Again, it's a credit to their work ethic. So, hats off to Coach Brazelton and Coach Walls. They do an outstanding job with our defensive line. And these guys like Jordan and Floyd and all of them just embrace that hard work. So, we just got to keep it going.
Great job answering your questions and reaping the rewards of all the hard work. So let's move to the offense. And we have the quarterback, Xavier Williams, with us. First of the year, the offense kind of struggled, but every week they seem to just get better and better as a unit. The backs blocking for each other, the wide receivers, as coaches mentioned, and we've talked about on this show, how they get down on the field. What's going on with why do they? How have they? How's this all transpired over the season? Because it's definitely paying off, and we're reaping the rewards with it. Talk to us about the offense as a unit.
The offense as a unit, we progress, due to all the practice that we have. Everybody sees us number one in the state, 8-0, but if you watch our practice and the way the coaches push us and what they have us do day in, day out, you wouldn't think we're an 8-0 team. So with how practice is set up and how the coaches have our D1 guys, receivers, D1 DBs going against each other, it's really it's what sets us up for the game. Because if we got the best guys in the receiving core, then the DBs are going to work the hardest to play the best guys, and that's vice versa. So if we got the best DBs in the state, wide receivers are going to try to take advantage of that. Push hard in practice, block, and do whatever we got to do to help everybody succeed. And as an offense, once one side, whether we're in the air, we succeed, then teams are going to try to stop that. But then that opens up the running lanes for Sajel or Robert Gavin. Our line is excellent. So, it just opens up, and that's how we progress as a unit.
That's another key point that these guys, their relentless pursuit for perfection is just it's incomparable. I've been in this business a long time, and to have guys that are so talented but yet continue to go to work every day and are just trying to get better and better and competing with one another and never being satisfied. That's the joy as a coach, to see these guys come out and work every day like they're just trying to make the team, let alone being the stars of the team and the success they have. They're not satisfied with the success they have, and that's why I'm just excited about this playoff run coming up here because of what we're capable of achieving.
There was a guy named Vince Lombardi was quoted, if you seek perfection, you shall attain excellence. And we're seeing that each week. So quarterback position, you've had to learn this offense, and we've seen you improve with your reads each week, running the option there. Talk to us about what you've had to do to learn and continue to master this offense.
Once again, it goes back to practice, and it goes back to watching a lot of film. You learn from your mistakes, and to this day, I still make mistakes. The running back makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And that's pretty much what makes it perfect. Practice makes perfect. As much as and many times, Coach Ty, Coach Marino, they give us as an offense a situation in terms of my reads or whatever reads we have to do. And when you just see it so much, you start to understand it more and learn it more and do it more. And so in the game, it looks like it's easy, but really, if you go throughout the week and watch how we practice and watch what we have to do to be able to make that look easy, you'll understand that, that's how we do what we do.
That's a huge benefit that we implemented when we took the program over, which is to videotape practice. A lot of teams would videotape games, obviously, but by the time you watch it Saturday morning, it's too late. You already made those mistakes, and you can't go back and replay the game. So that was something that, when I became the head coach, I felt like it was very important that we were to videotape practice every day, and we do. We videotape practice every day, and so the kids have that opportunity to see their mistakes. We can make adjustments throughout the week so that, come game time, we're a lot more prepared to execute our offense and our schemes. And again, Xavier's work ethic has been outstanding, and he's improved every day, every play, every series, and each and every week. You could just see his growth and his comfort level within our offense. And again, it goes back to Coach Ty Stolt, the quarterback coach, the way he works with the quarterbacks and develops these guys. It's just an outstanding job.
Well, gentlemen, it's a pleasure watching you play each week, watch you improve, and it's been a fun ride so far. So thank you for coming in. Brian, I'll turn it back to you, and we'll get on to the second half here.
All right, what we're going to do now is get into the second half highlights with Coach Marino.
So, yeah, Southeast deferred, and so they get the ball to start the second half. And, again, we put a lot of emphasis on our kickoff team and getting down there and pinning them inside the 20, and there you have it again. Stopping them, pinning them inside the 20, making them start inside the 20 is another huge benefit to a defense. Unfortunately, we gave up a big chunk play. I think that may have been the biggest chunk play Southeast had all evening. So, again, not the way we wanted to piggyback off the momentum of the kickoff team. But, again, you'll see that Southeast has some success moving the ball, but our defense, tightens up when necessary and keeps them out of the red zone. So, again, you see, Southeast is having a little bit of success there, getting some yards and chewing up the clock and moving the chains. But, again, when it's time to shut the door, our defense does a great job, and you'll see coming up here, they really start to change the momentum back in our favor. Like I said, Southeast has got a little bit of a drive going here, but like I said, the defense comes up, makes the plays when they have to, and there's Damon Hill, Day Hill making a big hit to stop get another first down. So now you're in a third down situation. And we stress third downs big time. Every week we work on those scenarios, third and short, third and medium, third and long. And, again, the defense comes through on third down. Southeast decides to go for it on fourth down. And, again, our defense does a great job getting penetration up front, forcing them to have to, jump and flinch. And so, now they're backed up, fourth and longer. And they try a deep ball, but there's just great coverage. Damon Hill is right on it. Jock Hughes is coming over the top as well. So we held on fourth down, and then the offense got a chance to get back on the field and start getting some momentum going back for us. We do a good job here. Good read again by Xavier. To give it to the tailback, it's wide open because so many times he's pulled it. So now they're sort of waiting on him, which creates an open gap and creates a run lane. And then a great play action, good decision to throw the ball. Good ball, just ran out of real estate there. And, again, those are mistakes we'll learn from. But, right there, again, slick night. Rain was coming down hard, and, we had a bad exchange. And unfortunately, a great drive, as you can see, the rain right there. Unfortunately, a great drive that settled for no points. But, took some time off the clock, gave our defense a chance to rest, and flipped the field position. And that's big. When you're playing in a monsoon like that, field position is crucial because it's tough to sustain a 75-play, 80-yard drive. And so our defense does a great job. Unfortunately, we get a roughing the kicker call and give them new life and give them a chance again. But again, it's as you can see, it is just a torrential downpour, and there's the ball security issues, and our defense is just swarming right there. They know it's tough to handle the ball. They know they're limited in what they can do, and they're feeding off it right now. They're pinning their ears back, and they're coming. And so another 4th down stop, and basically giving us the ball where we need it. And so, we take advantage of it right here. Great blocking. Look at the receivers, just relentless. So we get it down to the 25 on a great decision by Xavier to pitch it. He knows when to keep it, when to pitch it. And, again, he's just doing a great job managing and playing within our schemes. Good decision right there. He pulls it. He keeps it. Again, now he decides to, pitch it. Good decision. Unfortunately, the ball is just so slick. It's just hard to keep control of it. And it is what it is. You just got to battle those conditions. And whoever battles the adversities in life, whoever battles the adversities in a football game, those are the teams that are gonna win.
Before we get into the fourth quarter highlights, Ken, I just wanted to thank you for setting that up. He's done all the video for us, and to get the rain shots in there to give because on TigerVision it looks pretty clear, but that gives an indication of how it really was during the game.
And it was like that most of the night, if not all night long. I mean, we were hoping, as a head coach now you have to become a meteorologist and you study the models and and I thought we were going to have a break. I could have swore around 8:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, I thought we were good. And it just kept pouring. And so
it was great being in the press box, right?
Yeah, good for you guys.
For press box. So after that, let's take it to the fourth quarter highlights, Coach.
So again, we get the ball down there, and unfortunately we had a great scheme called, but that was one where we misread that one and tried to force it into Kobe Mays when it really should have went to Sajel Hickson. He was wide open in the back corner of the end zone. So we turned it over on downs. But again, we had a good drive to change field position, to flip the field and then force Southeast to have an 85-yard drive, and that's difficult. That's difficult to do on any surface, let alone a wet surface with a wet ball. And again, you could see it in the shadows. The rain is just coming down. It's just, like I said, it's just a torrential downpour, and it's just, like I said, it's just very difficult to handle the ball and do anything really with it. But again, our offense did enough. Our defense did more than enough, and our offense did enough to have a convincing win in a big district championship showdown. Good ball security here, or not. and again, it is what it is. We had a little drive going. We picked up a first down, but unfortunately, it's just part of the elements, and we just got to continue to work at it because we may have another rain game, and we're going to continue to have to play in it, and we have to play better. So defensively, again, getting good pressure. Miles Ormsby forcing them out of the pocket, and then there's, you got Michael Brown, you got Kendall Reynolds,
Crazy
you got
closing speed.
That was Kendall, but you got Quentin Rue, and again Kevion Williams. So again, now we have the ball back. We're trying to protect it as best possible. You notice right there, he had two hands on it. Another drop by our punter, Rafael Gonzalez. Again, so everybody had to handle it. A drop by the return guy, and it was miserable. That's the only way I could describe it. It was just a miserable downpouring, drenching rain, and so. But again, we're flipping field position, and we owned field position the whole second half, and that was crucial. It gave us a chance to protect that 28-0 halftime lead. So our kids know how to handle adversity. They'll continue to battle through it week in and week out. Because we
Ormsby really had a great series coming off there, Coach. He was really in the backfield a lot.
Yeah, great throw right there in that weather.
Crazy.
To be able to get the ball down the field like they did, and to have the receiver go up and make that catch, that was a great play, and great credit to Southeast.
They got some players over there, Coach. You
Oh, they always do.
You look at a
Always
28-0 score, and it's very deceptive. They've got some very good
A lot of
talent out there.
underclassmen.
Yeah,
Way
again,
back
right
in
there.
Stamp.
There's Andre Rentz
Rentz.
coming off the edge and just exploding like he was shot out of a cannon. And that's the depth we have, that we could put him in and he can come in and make an impact like that. And then we have all of our other backups coming in now. Riley Jackson getting push up the middle and Keon Gavin. And so, we had a lot of guys get playing time, valuable reps and good playing time. And they went in there and they performed well. So, that's part of it, and couldn't be more happy those kids got their opportunity.
One of the great things there as we end the fourth quarter highlights, something that I'm always impressed with, Coach. If you looked at the TigerVision, you've got 3 timeouts at the end of the halves, which we see over and over again, which says a lot to you, your preparation. And I've been very impressed over the years that is not an issue with the Palmetto Tigers.
Yeah, no, that's part of my job is clock management, and you always want to try to keep all 3 if you can. But there are certain situations where you have to use them, and and when we're prepared, to preserve those as best we can. So, again, yeah, it's all part of the preparation and your day-to-day routine and how you practice, and we're going to just continue to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully, God willing, we're going to have guys healthy to really go down the stretch here in the playoff run.
Okay, so let's talk about the stretch. Let's move on to Tallahassee Lincoln. Our opponent this week, the Trojans. We're going to travel 310 miles, taking 52 players. It was a big drive, and I'm happy to announce that we made our goal of the $5,000. We want to thank the legions of Tiger fans that donated to make that happen.
Yes.
And what was even more impressive during the game, Brian read off, and let me get it right, over 110 names of contributors in 4 plays.
Correct.
I thought it was 5. He corrected me, 4. It's impressive one way or the other. So if there's any proceeds after all the expenses, we wanted to let everybody know after the trip that money will be used towards purchasing the rights with the FHSAA to bring you the playoff games on TigerVision. That costs money to after the season, so that's where the extra money, if there's any left over, will go towards that. So, Coach, so we're going to make this trip now, and we got a hotel and food covered. Tell us about what you're going to do with the itinerary to get the kids up there and get them ready for the game this week.
Well, we always have our Thursday walk-through practice, and thanks to Robbie Stevenson, obviously a Florida legend, national champ there. He still has a lot of great contacts within the UF community, and so we decided we're going to be pulling out of Palmetto High School parking lot at 2 o'clock. We're going to stop at 4 o'clock at a rest stop, feed the kids, and then we're going to go into Gainesville, hopefully be pulling in around 5:30. And then we will take a tour of the facilities and then around campus a little bit. And then they were gracious enough to allow us to use one of their practice fields so that we're going to be able to go through our normal practice routine and preparation at 6:30. And then we'll load back up on the buses. We'll head to the hotel. And then, just so many, again, thanks to so many of you Tiger fans and supporters. We have another great supporter in Steve Prusnell. General manager and regional manager for Little Caesars Pizza. He's donating pizzas for the kids and the staff and the coaches. So we'll be eating pizza, and then the kids will be tucked into bed, and then Friday morning we'll get up, we'll have breakfast, we'll have team meetings, we'll have a walkthrough, and then we'll get on the bus and head to Tallahassee for the final leg of the trip. We'll be eating at an Olive Garden at 2:30. And then we'll head to the stadium, and then it's a 7 o'clock kickoff. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully we'll get a win against Tallahassee Lincoln, get on the bus. The kids will be getting a Bojangles boxed lunch, so we'll be able to feed them and then, like I said, make that long journey back to Palmetto. But, again, thank you so much to all you Tiger fans and Tiger supporters. This is not something that we wanted to do. It was something we had to do. It was unfortunate that, Lakewood Ranch wasn't going to play us, and Northport and Sarasota and so many, Bayshore, so many of the schools that we had played in the past, they weren't going to play us, and so we were forced to have to find these faraway games, and so we had to do it, and we scheduled it, and then again, Palmetto is just such a great community to rally behind the football program to make it happen for us. Just couldn't be more grateful and thankful.
Well, you definitely found an opponent, Coach. When you talk about football in the Florida Panhandle, the Lincoln Trojans name is going to very often come up in the conversation. They're a perennial football power, and even locally, Manatee coach Shakir played there, coached on 2 state championships. One is the head coach, one is the assistant. So they know how to win there, and so far this year they're 5-3. Fresh off a Monday night game where we were just talking, Brian. They played Monday night and took a thrashing on the road to Crestview. So you've watched some film on them, Coach. What is your take on the 2019 Lincoln Trojans?
Well, again, that 5-3 record is very deceiving, and I just want to make a little footnote here. When the FHSAA decided to change the rules format for playoff football, they used us, Palmetto, and Lincoln as one of their examples of such a difficult schedule, and to be third in a district when you're 6-4 or 7-3 and you don't get into the playoffs, when a runner-up from another district that's a very weak district and they have a 3-7 or 4-6 record and they're in the playoffs, it just wasn't fair to the kids. It's not fair to the average high school football fan. You weren't getting to see the best football, especially in the first 2 rounds. Whereas now, yes, over the last 2 years, we went in as that wild card and went up and beat, an undefeated Pinellas Park 2 years in a row. And so that just goes to show you, and Tallahassee Lincoln is one of those programs. They are a perennial powerhouse program, and they play the best football in the state. They're up there every year with the toughest schedules, strength of schedule, and this year's no different. They are loaded with talented kids. Coach Gray does an outstanding job coaching his guys along with his staff. So it's big-time football, as you mentioned. And, like I said, our kids are looking forward to the challenge. Every week we're playing all these 5 stars, and we're going to see some more of them tomorrow night. They have a tight end who's a highly recruited, Division I player. And so you're going to see that all over the field tomorrow night. And so our kids are looking forward to the challenge, and we're just excited to get up there and play some football.
All right, Coach, this game is going to be played at Childs High School, which is 9 miles away from the Georgia border on an artificial turf field, which I'm very excited about seeing those Tigers on a turf field. With the game being played on turf, are you making some cleat adjustments or anything with the unis, Coach?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have that much money to have 3 or 4 different sets of cleats, but nowadays they're making the field turf so very similar to a regular grass field that, as we've been watching different teams that played on it against Lincoln, there really hasn't been any issues with the footing and kids playing on it. But, fortunately, our Thursday practice will be on a turf field, and so our kids will have a chance to go out and run around and make cuts and catch balls and plant and redirect. So it won't be the first time when they hit the field Friday night. So that's a blessing right there. And, again, thanks to Robbie Stevenson for organizing and arranging that through the University of Florida. And hats off to the University of Florida for being as gracious as they were to allow us to do that.
Well, Coach, it's a lot of fun this year. The Tigers are making that longest road trip in school history. Special team that we got going here, which can be a real test with preparation, with your game prep. And Lincoln also has that test because just yesterday they played, and so Friday they're going to face the Tigers. So, we've got a little bit of some distractions with game preparations, but a unique situation for Lincoln also. Are you looking forward to the experience, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. If we can continue to maintain our number 1 seed, we should play home, but you never know with 2 weeks to go how the power rankings are going to shake out. It was unfortunate for them, but as Tropical Storm Nestor was going right at them. We got all the heavy rains from it Friday night. They decided to postpone their game until last night. So the positive or the plus side for them was they had a chance to compete last night on a nice dry surface and a nice dry night. Unfortunately, we had to deal with the adversity of playing in a monsoon and in a very important district championship matchup. So, like I said earlier, that's part of life. That's part of the game of football. You're going to have to deal with adversities, and playing on a Monday night is definitely an adversity. It's a disadvantage for them, but our kids having to play in that monsoon Friday night wasn't easy either. So, it's going to be that team that's the most mentally tough team.
All right, Coach. Well, we're excited, and we're going to wrap this up. Ken, thank you for all the work that you did.
All right.
And thanks for watching the Coach Marino's Coaches Show featuring Palmetto Tigers head coach Dave Marino from here at Jaxx Sportsbar in Palmetto, as we have seen the show on TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. We'll see you, Tiger fans. Thank you for sending those Tigers to tally. We'll see you from the state capitol. And the phrase here, Coach, is?
One town, one team.
Thanks, Coach. Go Tigers.